All right, welcome back to the Oshay Duke Jackson channel, the Oshay Vlogcast. I have a very, very, very special guest, probably a guest nobody would think that I would ever have on this channel, and that is Rashida Strober. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you very much for having me.
I'm doing very good. It's amazing that we both of us are on the same actual interview, so it must mean that good things are gonna happen this year. So must be something. But I wanted to know, because basically I made a video concerning you about last year. What is it that we maybe as men or black men get confused, because you're very popular. People know you all over the country, all over the world for what you did in your videos, your work. What are we getting wrong about Rashida Strober?
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on here, and I'm glad that we are able to come on and talk and be cordial. That's a great thing. That's progress in terms of dark skin activism. So first of all, what I want to say for those of you that may not know me, my name is Rashida Strober, and I'm the world's first dark skin activist. I created dark skin activism way back in 1998, way before, social media and all this stuff. I've been engaged actively in the work of dark skin activism. And dark skin activism, to just to bring it back to your question, to relate it to, black men. What dark skin activism is, a big component of it is to get black men, because it's very important for me as a dark skinned black woman to get black men to simply see dark skinned women, first of all, to see myself, because it started out with me. Dark skin activism started with me wanting to feel beautiful and pretty and desired by black men. So one of the main objectives of dark skin activism is to get black men to see dark-skinned women as beautiful.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I've always said this about you. Even when I don't know if you saw my video, I said I think that you're very attractive. I don't know. Did you see that video I made about you?
Yes, I did, and thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't see anything that was wrong with you. I'm sure most brothers don't see nothing wrong with you. But why do you feel that black men don't have a preference towards dark-skinned women?
Well, because I call it dark-skinned mental abuse. I wrote a book called DARKISM, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Mm-hmm. And I call it dark-skinned mental abuse, what I underwent when I was a kid. So when I was growing up and coming through, like the formative years, it started off in elementary school, and then it progressed into middle school, into high school, and then into my 20s. I was picked on and called ugly and every name in the book: spot, blackie, monkey, everything you could think of, crispy, burnt, by primarily black males. I'm not here to bash. I am not, let me just be real clear on that. I am not here to bash, because like I said, one of the main objectives, should I say, is to bring black men back to dark-skinned women in balanced numbers to see us as beautiful. And so I always had a desire within me, and I know a lot of black women people say, oh, well, all black women don't feel this way. Well, I'm speaking for myself right now. I always had a desire for black men, those same black males that picked on me. I mean, I could just go into detail. I remember in high school wanting to be accepted by the black men, and I would go to gym class, for example, and there was this one, he was dark skinned. He was really dark skinned, really handsome. And every time he saw me, he started pointing and laughing, calling me ugly. I used to be super, super skinny, African booty scratcher, all these names. And it really hurt me. And like I said, I always had a desire to have them find me attractive. And so that is when, fast forward up to 1998, and I started to see the same issues take place with other dark-skinned women. And I was like, wow, I can relate to that. I said, I need to do something about it. And that's how, I gave birth, if you will, to dark-skinned activism. Speaking about Alek Wek, I don't know if you know who she is. She's the Sudanese dark-skinned model. She was on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine in 1997. And I saw her, and I remember black people was just going in on her, saying she was ugly. She wasn't the definition of black beauty. This was in 1998. And I said to myself, you know what? I got to speak on this, because I was looking around to see if there was someone that was talking about this issue with what I now call darkism, and there was no one. So I decided I'm going to talk about this, and I was able to do that, thank God, at St. Petersburg College in 1998. And I gave this lecture, and I remember after giving the lecture, some of the black males in the audience, they were like pissed. They was looking at me like grumbling under their breath and saying stuff about what I was saying was not true and I need to be quiet. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm thinking to myself, this stuff has been happening to me my whole life. Like I could give you example after example. You can stop me whenever you want to, but I could give you example after. I remember, for example, being in middle school. There was this one young man, and I actually did confront him about 3 years ago. I saw him walking into a corner store. Yes. And I confronted him. And I walked up to him and I said, do you remember me from Tyrone Middle School? And he looked at me and he was smiling and acting like he didn't remember. And I said, you used to call me all kinds of names, Blackie and ugly and this, that, and the third. And he was looking and he was laughing, and I was dead serious. And he acted like he didn't remember, but he slightly apologized. But this particular guy made my life a living hell. He made my life a living hell. It's to the point where when I walked into the cafeteria at Tyrone Middle School, I didn't want to walk in there because I knew that it was going to be hell to pay. I was not going to have a good day. So that's one of the reasons why I was like real skinny, because I literally sometimes I would stop eating lunch because I didn't want to be attacked and abused just for having dark skin. So, I mean, this thing is real. But through all of that, I want to say this is very important, that I love Black men. I am loyal to Black men because I understand, you know, why it is we think, some of us think the way we do, and it is because of our historical situation as colonized people. So, you know, at the same time, I still want to I want to work things out. I want to reconcile, and I just don't want to just give up. But those are some of the many experiences that I have personally had with what I call darkism.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I was called everything. I mean, because I'm black to the motherfucker, you know. So I've been called all of those black, crispy, ashy. But I mean, I guess I had tough skin coming up as a kid. You know, I think maybe women have a tougher time. But let me ask you this, because like I said, once again, I hope my girl don't hear it. And everybody in the chat agrees. Listen, what the fuck are you talking about? You're very pretty, you're an attractive chick. Like, we don't like. It's almost like, you know, what are you mad about? Like, you're pretty now. Did things change as you got like 18, 19, 20, 21? I mean, as you started to grow as a woman, did dudes who was roasting you, was he trying to holler at you all of a sudden, like, hey, Rashida? You know? Was it like, did it change?
That's a good question. I mean, it did change. I always like to make the joke that if it wasn't for Black men from Africa or the Caribbean, I would have never gotten a boyfriend or married. I mean, I'm just giving y'all my experience here, because my ex-husband, we're going through a divorce right now, but he's really, really dark skinned. I mean, super dark skinned. Mm-hmm. And he's from Jamaica. And then when I was in college, I had a boyfriend from Ghana, super dark skinned. So those were the Black men that tended to be attracted to me, but they were not American born Black men. Now, I did start to see over time, it's almost like it took a while for them to, because I did have an American born Black man, but to be honest with you, a lot of the boyfriends that I had, they were not Black American men. They were from either the Caribbean or from Africa. And so also I want to say, when you grow up and you're attacked for having dark skin and you're a female and you're constantly picked on, it messes with your psychological development, especially for a female. And so a lot of the times people will see you sometimes as being angry or as having an attitude, but what they're not understanding is that that's really hurt. And that's, you know, so sometimes, you know, I have made videos about Black men seeing me and turning their head when they see me. So some people that may sound ridiculous, but if you experienced what I experienced growing up and not being accepted by Black males and wanting to be, it's like when they look at you, you question every move. So that's what I was doing. And I admit to an extent, I still do that today. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking if a Black man says that he likes me, or if he says that he thinks I'm beautiful, in the back of my mind, I'm like, is he telling the truth? Is he, or does he really think I'm ugly? I know it might sound crazy, but I'm giving y'all the real here now. I'm telling you about me. I'm not speaking because I get criticism from Black women. They'll say, oh, Rashida, you're just being, I'm telling you about me. I cannot speak for other people. I'm telling you about what I'm thinking sometimes with some of these Black men. It's like, it's hard to trust because I revert back to those high school days or those middle school days when I was the butt of the dark skin ugly jokes. And I'm, like I said, I'm thinking, is this real? Does he really mean this? Mm-hmm. Something where it kind of dances around in my head. So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did very well. Let me get your impression on this, because you said that African men and Caribbean men found you more to be more attractive or more beautiful, but African American men on average did not. Why do you think African American men do not like dark-skinned women like African or Caribbean men do?
Well, I think that it's about the cultural development of these Black men in terms of where they're coming from. So, for example, in America, we are constantly bombarded with media images of non-dark-skinned women being shown. And let me just preface this with saying, I think that there are beautiful, light-skinned, white, Puerto Rican, Spanish, whatever race. There's beautiful women in every race. But I think that dark-skinned women are underrepresented. We are always presented, we're not presented in our best light as much as we should be. And I have paid attention. Remember, I'm the world's first dark-skinned activist. I created this whole dark-skin movement. I'm a part of the history. And I said that to say this: I have paid attention to these patterns over time. So dark-skinned women are not on the same level presented in a positive light in comparison to non-dark-skinned women. So for example, if you are a young male in America, you're gonna grow up and you watch TV, which most of us do. You're gonna grow up watching music videos, watching commercials, watching TV shows, watching movies where non-dark-skinned women are presented as being in shape, beautiful hair, beautiful bodies, happy, with good jobs. They're just gonna be presented in a very good, I don't even want to use the word light. I mean, a very good light. Whereas you look at dark-skinned women, it's either we're not presented enough in a good light, or we're not presented enough, or we're presented in a bad light. So, for example, let me give you a good example. Now, I have a little nephew, and I was at my aunt's house the other day, and who, by the way, she was at my historic speech that I gave on dark-skinned activism back in 1998. And she used to always tell me, I'm tired of hearing this, Rashida. You need to go share this with the rest of the world. Stop telling me. I mean, she's telling me this all the time. So I listened to her, and I finally started taking dark-skinned activism throughout the rest of the world. But she was telling me about my nephew, and she said that he said that he doesn't like the little dark-skinned girls. He likes white girls and, you know, the light-skinned girls because they're pretty and they have long hair. Now, this kid, mind you, is only 7 years old. 7 years old. And he watches a lot of TV. He goes to a school that is predominantly white. When he does have a tablet, when he's on the internet, he's not watching cartoons and things on the internet that present little dark-skinned girls in a positive light. So here's an example of the way that a young boy, a young Black boy, is socialized. And here it is. He has a dark-skinned mother who's very pretty. He's around the women in my family, which they're, for the most part, they're dark-skinned, but yet he has made it clear that his preference is non-dark-skinned girls. So, you know, it comes as a result of constant propaganda and conditioning over time to where a young Black boy grows into a man and he has developed these preferences. So oh, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Actually, a question, because you know, in our Black communities, I know you're from the South. We do have, I mean, historically have our own publications. So, you know, Ebony, Essence, or Jet. And since you're our dark-skinned colorism activist, now I know the white media will portray what they want to portray, but what do you see that Black publications, how do they portray who the stereotypical Black woman is in your own estimation? How do they promote?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think that the Black publications have gotten better over the years, because if you look at the history, if you go back, for example, and look at the covers of Ebony magazine, that's a good one because they've been around for a long time. And Jet magazine, there was not a lot going back to the 50s, the 60s. There was not a lot of, I would say that there was more non-dark-skinned Black women on the covers than dark-skinned Black women. But over time, they have gotten better about presenting dark-skinned women on an equal level as non-dark-skinned Black women. So it's getting better, but we still have more work to do in terms of presenting positive images of beautiful dark-skinned women. So on a whole, I would say we still have work to do. We're getting better. The publications are getting better, but we still have more work to do.
Let me ask you this, because you had a national rendezvous with Kendrick Lamar. It went viral. It was actually before I believe I was even YouTubing, and I heard about it before I even put up my first YouTube video. What was that all about? And explain that in its entirety, so we can all get an understanding of what was Rashida Strober's beef with Kendrick Lamar and how did it go viral?
That's a good question. Okay, well, in order to explain that, I have to go back to the creation of dark skin activism. This is very important because people will get a framework and an understanding of what I do in terms of the context in which the Kendrick Lamar situation took place. So as the world's first dark skin activist, and bringing dark skin activism to the internet, from 1998 all the way up until this took place in 2015, I have been speaking on the dark skin female situation in relation to Black male entertainers. I have been doing that for years, like I said, way before the prevalence of social media. I actually had a show back in 2014, actually 2013. It was called A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge. A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, named after my book and named after my play. It was in Clearwater, Florida, for an internet radio station called Get Live Radio. So the show consisted of me speaking on dark skinned females in relation to Black male entertainers. So again, it's very important for people to understand I have been doing this for years. Like I said, before YouTube, before Facebook, before Instagram, before all of that. I'm the dark skinned activist. So as a result of that, as people got to know me and they knew what I did and that kind of thing, people started contacting me on the internet back in 2013. And I have been engaged in what I call dark skin counseling. And it's not just dark skinned people that contact me, by the way. It's white people, it's Asian people, it's people of all different races that contact me to get help and advice and that kind of thing on their dark skin issues that might be going on in their family. So, and I'm always open to that. So as a result, I'm not going to say this young lady's name. There was a young lady that contacted me, I believe back in 2013 or 14, and I had been counseling her for about a year because she's dark skinned and she had gone through some things with her boyfriend, who had actually left her for a non-dark skinned woman. And he was basically using her, getting money from her and getting gifts from her and giving it to the other woman, but was leading her on. And she was, I was pretty much counseling her about that. I was a listening ear. She knew I wasn't going to judge her or any of that stuff. So one day she came to me and she said, Rashida, have you seen Kendrick Lamar's fiance? And I was like, no, because I don't follow Kendrick Lamar like that. I'm from the 90s. I listen to the 90s group of, entertainers.
Right.
So she said, Rashida, go look. She told me to go Google it. And she was like so upset. So I was like, okay. Now remember, me and this woman we had a rapport for like a whole year. We had been talking. So I go and Google it, and boom, I did what I do as the dark-skinned activist, what I've been doing for years. I go to my Facebook page and I said what I had to say, and I did not think anything of it. I did communicate with this person who had told me about it, who told me to go look, and me and her were conversing back and forth. And the next thing I know, I was like, what is this? It's all over the world.
What did you actually say? What did you actually say?
I can't remember exactly what you mean. What did I say to her, or what did I say
on social media?
Oh, you can Google that and go see that easily. I was basically saying, because after I had looked at what Kendrick Lamar was promoting, I said, wait a minute, this is a contradiction here. And by the way, I actually have a detailed response to why I said what I said in this book, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. But the short of it is, I had looked at what he was promoting, and I had saw that, okay, he had a dark-skinned girl in his video, and people were praising him for that. And he was talking about the blacker the berry, which, this is very important, and this is what really kind of made me, it set me off. Because The Blacker the Berry is a book that was written by Wallace Thurman back in 1932. People think that the phrase "the blacker the berry" came from Tupac. God bless Tupac, but it did not come from him. The Blacker the Berry was a book written by Wallace Thurman back in 1932. Mm-hmm. And the book, the protagonist in the book was Emma Lou, a dark-skinned young lady who was abused in every sphere of life for being dark-skinned. She was abused by her family. She moved to Harlem, could not get a job. The guy that was pretending to be her boyfriend didn't really love her. She was just abused, went to school. Read the book. You'll see what I'm saying. The Blacker the Berry, 1932, all the way. So Wallace Thurman is the father of the dark skin movement. This man was way ahead of his time, and I love him and have an immense amount of respect for him, because he was talking about this issue all the way back in 1932 when it was not popular to talk about what I call darkism. So The Blacker the Berry, I was like, wow, he's talking about the Blacker the Berry. Has this man ever, I thought to myself, has he read the book, The Blacker the Berry? Does he understand what this dark-skinned woman went through her whole life for being dark-skinned? Even in the book, the woman's, Emma Lou's mother said something to the effect of Emma Lou's crime was being dark-skinned and female. Mm-hmm. Just think about that. She said something to the effect of, if she would have been born a boy, her life would have been better. But because she was born dark-skinned and female, she gonna have a problem. And sure enough, she did. Shunned by everybody. So
let me kind of stop right there. Before I do that, shout out to Ray Clemens and OJ. They donated in the super chat. Let me just ask you this, because you just made a point where you said if you are a dark-skinned male, your life is much different than a dark-skinned woman. I want to hear your opinion on that, because there may be some difference of opinion. I know I have Obsidian Radio in the chat. We have about 103 people watching right now on the channel. So shout outs to everybody watching. Keep liking the video. This is an incredible interview. Once again, I thank Rashida for coming on.
Thank you.
Coming on black male YouTubers channels can be a little hostile. So I appreciate her coming. Keep liking the video and keep the likes coming up. So if you're coming into the chat, like the video. We have 103 watching only. Thank you. Keep liking the video, get the likes up. Let me ask you this, Rashida. You said that it's different for a dark-skinned man. And I'm going to come back to these preferences. We'll talk about Tyrese. We'll talk about Kendrick Lamar in a second also. But why would it be different for a dark-skinned man to be accepted than a dark-skinned woman, in your opinion?
Great question. And the colorism scholars have dealt with this question extensively. And they have proven that it's more difficult if you are a dark-skinned woman, because for women in general, let's understand this. It's about beauty. Your beauty is, as Dr. Margaret Hunter calls it, social capital. I love that. And we can see examples of that where people like say she's using her beauty as social capital. I mean, we can make that argument, a strong argument for that. People like Halle Berry. Whereas if you look at dark-skinned men, it is difficult for dark-skinned men. I'm not going to say it's not, but the thing with a man, it's about money. If a man has money and status, well, the money does create the status. A man can overcome easier. But if a woman if you are a dark-skinned female, and historically we know, if we go back to slavery, dark skin was associated with masculinity. So if you are a dark-skinned female, then if dark skin is associated with being masculine, and white women have been held up as the standard of beauty, and they're light, and that's considered to be feminine, then what are you to do as a dark-skinned woman? How are you to resolve the issue? You see what I'm saying? So to answer your question in a nutshell, for women in general, it's about beauty. Beauty is social capital. And again, notions of femininity have been associated more so with the standards for white women. White women, it's like a pyramid. White women are at the top, and then as you go down the pyramid, the dark-skinned women are at the bottom. We make up the bottom of the beauty pyramid hierarchy, whatever you want to call it. Over here, you got dark-skinned men, like I said, but if that man has money, I mean, look at people like Michael Jordan, for example. Who cares about him being dark-skinned? He has money and he has talent. He's probably known as the greatest basketball player in the world. So again, if you have money will help you to overcome for a man, because men are supposed to be providers. That is the mark of a great man. Can you provide for your family? You see what I'm saying? Women, getting a mate is based on how you look. Men are visual. So if you don't consider a woman to look good, who cares about her education? I mean, how are you going to know what degree she has? If you're just walking past her looking, you're not going to know that. It's about, does this woman look good? You understand? So again, for dark-skinned women, it's harder simply because everything is about beauty. And beauty is, as Dr. Margaret L. Hunter points out, it is a form of social capital.
Rashida, let me talk about this, because I made a video to you, and it was not the video I made last June or July. It was not a nice video that I made, Tori. It was pretty brutal.
Right.
Now, I started off, and the one thing that I did say is that I thought you were very pretty. I admitted that then. I'll say the same thing now.
Well, thank you.
But if you watch that video, like I said, it was not a nice video. But what I'm going to say is this. A lot of brothers, Obsidian's talked about this, and a lot of brothers have said, well, dark-skinned women, it's not so much that they are dark-skinned, but dark-skinned women typically have a lack of femininity. When you see a lot of violence in the Black community, you've seen more dark-skinned women do it. Dark-skinned women are a little bit more angry. Dark-skinned women are more violent. And I mean, I know these are stereotypes, but if you live in urban, I'm talking about not in like middle, I'm talking about more poorer class Black communities. You see this kind of stuff. When a brother sees a dark-skinned woman, typically he associates her with being more loudmouth, more rude, more abrasive, versus a woman who is light. You see her more as feminine, more docile. I mean, that's how I see it. And when I looked at your videos, like when I saw like there was a little bit of anger, I'm like, okay, she's pretty, but this kind of up, I gotta whoop your ass over some, I drank your orange juice last night. You wrote my name on the apple juice. I mean, what's going on with that? Because I think a lot of brothers feel that dark-skinned women are just not feminine enough. Not the fact that they're not pretty, but they're just too rude. That's a big complaint. Is this true in your opinion?
I think that a lot of Black men are feeding into the stereotypes, and I understand what you're saying. I think that dark-skinned women are not getting a fair chance, because here's the thing. First of all, like I said, if we go back to slavery, we know that dark skin has historically, since slavery, it has been associated with masculinity. So that's a strike against us. Being dark skinned, no matter if you're nice and quiet like this, you're dark skinned. So again, it's associated with masculinity. So we have to cross that hurdle. Also, we have to look at the fact that, let me just give you an example of all these different reality shows. There are so many reality shows that are on stations like VH1 and MTV. Let me see, MTV, I'm not sure if it's, but I know it's VH1, where you have non-dark-skinned Black women who are violent. What's that show, Basketball Wives? The non-dark-skinned, there's a one light-skinned woman on there. She is so violent. She likes to fight everybody. She's loud. She has all the stereotypes that are associated with a dark-skinned Black woman, yet she is able to come onto TV and become famous and capitalize off of this violent behavior. She's a non-dark-skinned Black woman. And the producer of that show, and this is where the non-dark privilege comes in as well, is Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, who is a non-dark-skinned Black woman, who is capitalizing off of this behavior and making money. But yet dark-skinned women are getting the brunt of the negativity. We're not getting the men like we're supposed to have the men. The non-dark-skinned Black women are able to, like I said, make money, produce these shows, capitalize off of these negative stereotypes. But at the end of the day, the dark-skinned Black women are still on the ground level taking the brunt of it. And I'm not going to say to you that there are no dark-skinned women who are engaged in violent behavior. I'm not going to say that. But what I do know is I think that there is an equal amount of non-dark-skinned women who are engaged in the same type of behavior, but because non-dark skin is seen as more feminine, they get a pass. So I challenge Black men to look at these things. Go look at some of these reality shows and see how these non-dark-skinned women, going back to the Basketball Wives, the dark-skinned, there was a dark-skinned woman on there, Jennifer is her name. She's dark-skinned. I never saw her start a fight. Tall, dark-skinned, beautiful. I never saw her act ignorant. I never saw her do any of that. So there are plenty of dark-skinned women out there who behave that way, but yet we still fall into the category of the violence, of the anger, of the, we have to work so hard to overcome these stereotypes. We have to work so hard to, there's a concept called the notion of the self. When you go out here, and I can't remember the scholar that came up with this, but shout out to this scholar, hopefully I come up with his name, but he talks about, in relation to dark-skinned women, how when we go out in public, we know that we're going to have to contend with stereotypes. So we have to present, those of us that are intelligent enough to realize this, we have to try to work hard to present, this is not who I am. They may behave like this, but I'm one of the ones that don't behave this way. So, I just challenge these Black men to really understand that not all dark-skinned women are behaving this way, and to also look closely at the non-dark-skinned Black women and the non-dark-skinned women of other ethnicities. Have y'all watched Love and Hip Hop lately? Have y'all seen the violent non-dark-skinned women who are not Black, but they're on a show about Black people, acting like people say dark-skinned women act, but they're getting paid, they're being heavily compensated for their behavior? I think it's a double standard, is what I'm saying.
Okay, it's a good point. I do want to acknowledge Grandmaster BGS, not only master teacher, but Grandmaster Teacher BGS. I would say he's one of our most respected elders here, probably the most respected elders here in our Negro Manosphere. So I want to acknowledge him. I want to acknowledge Sister Allie Emmett just came in. Ola Me Day. Nigga, I saw that comment how you was offended by a damn video I did. Nigga, don't you know I don't give a fuck about you being offended? But thank you for being in here. And once again, I'm glad everybody's here. Like the video, we're having a wonderful discussion. In fact, I'm gonna try to have Rashida come back, because one thing that I do appreciate about you coming here is you said, hey, one of the reasons why I started dark skin activism is because I wanted to be accepted by Black men. Now, here's what's different from you that I got a lot of respect for than the others. You have a lot of women out here who've had bad experiences with Black men, and they're telling Black women to go get a white man, or to don't fuck with Black men. I got a lot of respect for you because you're saying, hey, Black men called me these names. And to be fair, I know this to be true because as a dark kid, I was called this name. My grandfather is 97 years old from Benton, Missouri. He said back in the day, if you called him Black, that was automatic fighting words.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Automatic fighting words. It was, you was going to fight to almost damn near, it's like pushing it. If you called a kid Black, nobody wanted to be called Black. It's automatic fighting words. So I know what you're saying is true. But what I want to talk to you about is we have a situation, not only in America, I know you said you get hit up by all different races. We have dark Indians, I'm sure, that are even darker than some of us. What about the skin bleaching thing? Oh, shout out to Ashton. Nigga gave me $10. What's up, nigga? Appreciate you. What's going on with this skin bleaching thing that we see in Nigeria? You see a lot of skin bleaching, and even in other races. But can you speak to that? And what's your activism about skin bleaching in the west coast of Africa? How do you feel about that, and what's going on with this?
Absolutely. I dated, as I mentioned earlier, I dated a Ghanaian, very, very dark skinned, super dark skinned. And I asked him, I said, what is going on? Why are these African women, why are they bleaching? And what he told me a straightforward answer. We don't need to go through the mumbo jumbo. He said, basically they're bleaching because they know that the men prefer the light skinned women. This is what a native African from the country of Ghana told me. That's why the women are bleaching. They want to get a husband, and they know that the men prefer lighter skinned women. And so they're going to do what they're going to do what they have to do. Simple. Now, do I agree with that? Of course not. The skin lightening industry, the skin bleaching industry is $1 billion industry around the world. It's really big on the continent of Africa. And I think that we need to do whatever we can to stop it, because the whole industry is predicated on darkism. It's predicated on the low self-esteem of Black women and women of other ethnicities, like you said, in India, also in Asia. I mean, you know, it's predicated on their low self-esteem of them wanting to appear lighter, because lightness has been associated with wealth. Lightness is associated with all things better. You're going to live a better life. You're going to get a better quality of husband. And that's what even education. And that's what people want. So that's the main reason why these women are doing it. I mean, I have a friend from Nigeria. He has a store over in Tampa, and yeah, he sells skin lightening creams. I mean, it's $1 billion industry, and it needs to stop. And so I have been in communication with some people. We're supposed to be coming together to try to get some things done around the whole issue of, you know, skin lightening and the whole issue of women, dark skin discrimination and that kind of thing. So I'm continuously working on that, building up an international base, because what I would like to see an end to the skin lightening industry. That's what I really want to see, because it's all about self-esteem. And it's saying basically that the darker you are, you're not of as much value as a person who is not dark skinned. It's absolutely insane.
Well, I mean, I gotta agree. I mean, I'm not trying to agree with 100% everything that you're saying, but I will say for a fact that what you're saying here is definitely correct. Because I'm in a medical school here in Poland. Mm-hmm. There are students from Thailand who have to lighten their skin up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That ain't, and Thailand, you know, you're already like, if they're not light enough, they won't get married. This is Thailand.
Right.
You know, we ain't talking about black people now. We're talking about, you know, Indians. We're talking about darker Indians, darker Pakistanians, people from Singapore. So everybody, a lot of people are suffering from, you know, this particular issue. Let me ask you this, because black men, I mean, you mentioned this. What do you think? Because let me go back to this. Some black men will say, I prefer white women or light-skinned women because that's what I like. Is Rashida Strober trying to change somebody's preference?
What I'm trying to do, well, let me just talk about preference. Preference is constructed. Again, going back to the example of my little nephew, his preference is being constructed right now. And preference is constructed mainly through the mass media. I mean, you can argue that it's, of course, through your parents. But again, when you are constantly bombarded with images from the media telling you what is beautiful, the preference construction has worked. I like to use an example of, to me, this is relatable to darkism and what I'm doing. His name is Noam Chomsky. I don't know if you know who he is, but he wrote a book called Manufacturing Consent. And it's pretty much, it's speaking about how in the United States, the media, or let's compare it to a country where, I don't know, any country around the world where they use brutal force to get you to think what they want you to think. The government uses nothing but force. You know, they say, if you don't think this way, we're gonna basically off with you. We don't do that in America. No. To get people to think the way that we want people to think in America, the media does that. I mean, the media knows that people are going to watch television. They're going to go to the movies. That now we got the internet. And so the manufacturing of consent and preferences is created through that way. And so I think that when people say that I am trying to force preference, then they need to look at, how did you get your preference for the type of person that you want to date to begin with? Where did it come from? And you will find, ultimately, if you're honest, you will find that your preference was constructed through propaganda, through media. So I don't feel that what I'm doing is no different. I'm just simply saying that, hey, I love y'all black men, love me back as a dark-skinned woman. I'm not forcing you to, you know, to be with dark-skinned women. I'm simply, like I said, I'm saying, hey, I'm here. Love me, like me.
What is it that black men can do? I mean, because I'm pretty sure that I think as black men get older, you know, in the 20s or something like that. I mean, I've always liked dark-skinned women, you know, or brown-skinned, dark-skinned women. Lighter-skinned women for me was always, I'm not saying I didn't like them, but I mean, it was not really my thing. But I mean, I know there are a lot of brothers who are open to dating dark-skinned women or wanting to marry one. What can black men do, in your opinion, to promote, you know, dark-skinned women or women, you know, of that ilk? What do you think that we can do? I mean, I know you're doing a lot by yourself, but what kind of platform do you think that we could do to promote the dark-skinned women who want to be with black men? Because there are a lot of women out there who, I mean, how can I say this? There are a lot of women out there now who are saying, well, I'll come to the best mate or whatever. But I hear very few women out there that I feel is sincere saying, listen, I want to be with black men only and really mean it. What can we do to build a better relationship with the dark-skinned women and promote them, in your opinion?
That's a great question. I want to say since 1998, since I started dark skin activism, okay, I have been saying this since 1998, that it is the black man that can solve the problem. And I'm still saying it in 2017, from 98 to 2017. It is the black man. I don't care what anybody says. It is the black man that can solve this problem. Because black men, again, y'all are the ones, yes, you know, a woman has to choose you, but it's the black man that has to ultimately say, I want to marry this woman. or I want to be in a relationship with this woman. So y'all have to co-sign. So to me, again, from 98 all the way up until 2017, I'm so glad you asked that question. I have been saying that the black man can solve and I'm here on record to say the black man can solve darkism, dark-skinned female beauty discrimination. Y'all,
so how can the black man solve? Because I'm watching the chat, and to me, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a person that when I have somebody on my platform, I don't like to I don't ask hardcore questions or something like that. I'm not that kind of person on my platform. The reason why is I want you to be able to explain who you are, and then as I see the objections coming in the chat, I'll rebuttal with that. But let me ask you this: why is it that black men have to solve the problem and not black women? Or not dark skin? Why do you feel that way?
Right. I'm not saying it in a way that's negative in terms of being like mean-spirited. I'm saying it in a way, just pick us, pick me. Here I am. I'm a beautiful dark-skinned woman. Pick me and treat me right, because I respect a man, as the head. I grew up. I had a great dark-skinned father. He was phenomenal, and that's probably one of the reasons why I have so much love and respect for black men to this day. And my father was the head, and he treated his wife. He didn't marry my mom because she felt like he was too old for her after a while, but he wound up getting married to a black woman. He treated this woman with such admiration and respect. The relationship they had was just wonderful. So I saw that. I saw how the black man could solve the problem. He was also in the Nation of Islam. And one of the things I used to see him do, he used to sell the Weekly Challenger. And he would say to black women very respectfully, "Ooh, you're so beautiful." He would like constantly tell all these. I was like, whoa, I saw my dad doing this. He was solving the problem, and the women, their faces would light up. They would be so happy. And another thing, let me say this. When I was in Tucson, after I performed, I'm on the Dark Skin Activist Tour, by the way. First stop was in Tucson. Mm-hmm. After the show, we had an audience talk back. And the women in the audience, and I'm going to be releasing this footage on my channel real soon, they said to me, this one woman said, she said, well, Rashida, the black men, they don't like. Said it in this way that just it egged at my heart, and I was like, wow. And so there was a black man in the audience. Shout out to him. Shout out to Kevin. And he told me, he was like, Rashida, you are beautiful. And another black woman, she said, well, that's all we want to hear. Just just that one little word, or the words, can brighten up our day. This is what these women said out of their own mouths.
Let me ask you this, because we're going to have to throw the conversation for a turn a little bit, because the thing about it is women do want to hear compliments, but from a certain type of man. If the guy is short, fat, no teeth, does it matter? I mean, this is what I'm saying. Let's be honest here. Right. A lot of women themselves are saying, pick me, and that's fine. But who do you want to be chosen by? What are your standards? So, I mean, I guess we need to know, what is Rashida in women that are dark skinned? I mean, what's the height requirement? What's the money requirement? Come on now, tell her, let us know. What's the education requirement? Because I'm seeing a lot of brothers in there saying, well, wait a minute. Do you want this compliment from a short dude with one arm, dude out there walking like this? Hey, baby, you dark skinned, beautiful. Oh yeah, girl. Come on now. What are we talking about here?
Okay, I do acknowledge the fact that some black women are picky and they have preferences and they want to have a man they got all these standards. I can only speak for myself again. I am the type of person, I gotta like you as a human being. I have to like you. When I say as a human being, I mean, you gotta have a good, pure heart. So I'm open. I go off of, like I said, is this person a decent human being? Are they out here committing crimes or treating people bad, treating the kids bad, treating the old people bad? If you're doing all that, I don't want a part of you. But I pretty much am open. Now, what I can tell you, if you want to know the types of men that I have dated, the guy from Ghana, he was super dark skinned, darker than my hair. He was shorter than me. I'm pretty tall. I'm what, 5'10". He was like 5'8". But he was a great guy, still to this day, just a wonderful person. he just happened to have a PhD. He was going to school. He got his PhD. I wasn't looking at all that. We just happened to meet in graduate school. Oh, well. I have dated guys who regular run-of-the-mill guys. It depends on the person. I'm personally not looking to say how much money you make or where you work at. I don't do all of that when I meet a Black man. It's, do I like this person? Now, I will admit there are some women Black women out here who are doing that. Do I think that they should be doing that? Interviewing somebody like it's a job interview or something when they first, that's ridiculous. I think what you should be looking at is the person's heart. So, you know, I personally am open, and I would say to Black women, some of them might disagree with me on this, but I think that we need to be more open. We need to be more open to looking at a person's humanity. Because just because someone makes 6 figures, that does not mean that that person is a good person. Just because someone has a PhD, which my ex-husband has a PhD, that's a whole nother topic. He did dark skin and did not treat me right, was terrible. Tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah, I will say that. But he was, let me get off that. But I'm just saying, y'all get my points.
Right.
So you need to look at, you can't always go off of how the person looks, how much money they're making, what kind of car they're driving. I'm not telling you not to have standards. I'm just saying, look at a person's humanity. I think that should be first and foremost.
Okay. Let me do this before we continue on. Thank you guys. Listen, I got 130 in here. I see Dr. Keller in here. What's going on, Doc? I see Poker Zaddy in here. I see Nicholas. Shout out to you, Jet Mafia, Obsidian, D. Lennings. Can we get some more likes on the video? We have 131. NB Bless UK. Let's get up to 100 likes, fellas. We got 77 people surfing in the chat. Do me a favor and get the likes up. All right, we have a thank you so much, 81. I really appreciate you getting the likes up. Shout out to Rob Marsh, Lionel Jean. 18 more likes to get to 100, and we'll continue to interview. 84, all right, that's cool. 16 more. Donate to free likes. Come on, don't be stingy, nigga. 88. All right, thank you. 12 more. 12 more for you. 92. That's what I'm talking about. 8 more. 8 more likes. 95. Thank you. 5 more. This is a good interview, y'all. That's just for your entertainment. 98. Oh, shit. 2 more. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. 100.
That's what I was talking about.
Number 1. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Now, those of you also while we end the interview, Rashida has some books that she's trying to also bring notice to. For her coming on, I didn't tell her to do, she came on by herself, but I'm gonna support her and get a book from 2 books from her actually right now. So Rashida, where can we get these books from?
Thank you. You can go to my website or you could email me. So my website is The Dark Skin Activist. I'm just typing it in here because people get confused on the spelling. The Dark Skin, SKIN, thedarkskinactivist.com, and get it there. Or you could email me at darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. And what I will do is I will send you a PayPal invoice.
Greetings, everybody. How y'all doing out today?
Oh, you went to my website. Yeah, so if you email me, I will send you a PayPal invoice. The books are $25 and the money goes towards the Dark Skin Activist Tour. I'm currently on tour right now, and the Dark Skin Activist Tour consists of my one-woman play, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, and a book signing and discussion afterwards. So I'm touring in as many places as I can around the country. So you can email me, darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com, or you can go to the darkskinactivist.com, and that is how you can get the book. I will be sending you a autographed copy of my books. They're right here. And support the campaign, because hopefully I'll be coming to a city near you.
Now, is this the PayPal, the Ice Cream Lady Dream? This is your PayPal?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, so,
yeah, so you're right there on my website. So you see all the information. It's right there. There you go. Yep.
All right. So I'm actually sending you. I actually want to read these books, and I'm gonna give a. So I actually sent you about 2 of them just now. All right.
Thank you.
And the reason why we need to do that, brothers.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. And let me know if you got the receipt, the email. Let me know if you got it.
I'm going to my email right now.
Yeah, check it out. The reason why we do that, brothers, because we need to support Black people's businesses, Black women's businesses that are trying to, at least say, hey, we want attention from Black men, and we want to also support Black males' business. You guys know that we had Aaron Cleary had a book. We promoted that. So I'm not going to just promote somebody else's book of another race and not support a woman's book who was, wanting to come onto this platform. So we want to make sure that the money stays in the community. So, and then we also learn from different experiences. So, like I said, if your brothers are interested.
Also, if I may say, I've actually, since 1998, starting dark skin activism, I've actually been working in my community for years. For free. I speak at schools, churches, at the college. I've been doing this work for free for years because it's so important to me to get this message out about dark skin discrimination, whether it be with a male or a female, because I've seen it happen so much. It's happened to me. So I've been on the ground since 1998 doing dark skin activism. So, this is nothing new for me. It's just, I do thank God for the internet. The internet has just provided another platform to bring the work of dark skin activism to. But I just want people to know that I have been since 1998 presenting and working on dark skin activism for the longest, and I'm never going to stop. So,
okay, let me ask you this, because I know that we talked a little bit about Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Tyrese? Now, before we go in on Tyrese, he seems like the brother that was, really, 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 really for the dark skinned sisters, and he had it's not him, it's not you, it's him. He was, and now it seems like since he has his wife, a lot of folks feel that he has switched up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Tyrese and what's been going on, considering his wife to be a Black woman? What do you kind of think about that right there?
It's the same thing happening all over again it's the same as the Kendrick Lamar situation. I think that what happens a lot of times is that some Black entertainers, they know that, for example, I have expressed my love and admiration for Black men since we had this conversation. So Black men know this. Black men, same thing that happened with Tank. Tank, I remember when he made the comment on Twitter or whatever about why dark-skinned women, why are we dissing his non-dark-skinned wife? It's the same thing. Some of them will use us because they know that we love their music. We think they look great. We support them. And then they won't marry us. So it's the same thing happening over again. So the thing, it's sort of a hard pill to swallow for some of us as a Black woman, because it's like, why are we good enough to support you in your music, support you in your career, support you in everything that you do, but why can't you marry us? Why can't we be together? That's the thing. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm gonna be honest, it's a painful thing for me. I don't like it. I would like to see a lot of these Black entertainers end up with some dark-skinned Black women. Why can't you marry and date a dark-skinned Black woman? I don't understand the mentality. Why do you have to have the dark-skinned Black woman when you're coming up and no one knows you and you're struggling? A lot of them have this. And then as you gradually move up the economic chain and you become more successful, why? It's just mind-boggling to me, and it's very upsetting to me, and I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like it. It's no shade. It's no shot at non-dark-skinned women. I'm just asking people to understand what it feels like coming from a dark-skinned woman to support. And I like Tyrese's music. I grew up listening to Tyrese's music. That Sweet Lady song Oh, I love that song. When I saw him with what's the pretty dark skinned girl in that video, if y'all ever watched that video, I was so happy to see her in that video. I was like, wow. But it's like, are you using us? Like, what is this? It just makes no sense to me. I hope I'm making sense. But that's how I feel about it.
This is good. This is good. It's good that we can have an open dialogue. I tell you what, because let's see. Did you get my my payment?
Yes, I did. Did it come from?
Oh yeah, it starts with a C.
Yes. I know if you want this. What did you say? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you what
got to you today.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, because I live in Poland and my fans have been so good to me over the last week. I really appreciate you.
That's awesome.
First two people, yeah, my fan. I just say the brothers. I don't know if you have ever seen our blog, the negromanosphere.com. It's a blog we started. It's some ruthless shit on there too. But because the brothers have been so good to me on this channel, I really appreciate you. Dr. Mark, he gave $100 on the super chat.
Awesome.
Doug, all you brothers have been donating, man, because we've been going through a little bit of a gender war. Ray Clemens gave some money. So I'll tell you what, Rashida, give them your email address, and the first two brothers that email you at that particular email address, can you send them a copy of a book, 2 books?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's do that. Let's give back to the community of the brothers. So those of you, Rashida, give them the email for the first 2. Okay, and Rashida's gonna send you an autographed copy, and it's free of charge. That includes shipping, right?
Yes, yes. They don't have to worry about the shipping.
Okay, so what's the email address, Rashida? Okay,
I got I got all these email addresses, but it's irwindevin@gmail.com, and I'm putting it in the chat box so you can see it. Okay. irwindevin@gmail.com. Okay. So I am on that email right now, and I'm looking to see who is gonna send me that email first.
Who emails? That's what we got to do. We have our author, so send it, nigga, send it. So the first 2, and like I said, once again, I really appreciate the brothers, how y'all guys have stepped up this week. I'm not the kind of person, I don't like to ask for anything. I like to work for whatever I get, but the brothers have been good to me, so I want to at least give something back to the community today.
Jet Mafia. We got Jet Mafia. Thank you, Jet.
That nigga was like, he couldn't wait. Hey, it's me. Hey. Okay, who else? That shit quick. Okay, one more. All right, I'm
emailing him back. They gonna have to somebody else too. Okay. Oh my God, Michael. I got 2 people. 3 people. I only got 2 books, y'all. But I got 3 people that emailed. Michael.
Who's the third one? Who's the third one?
Let's see. Barnett. His last name is Barnett. Michael was the second one. So I got Jet and Michael. That's gonna get the 2 books. But
Michael who?
Hold on. Let me go to his email.
Poker crazy.
Michael. He doesn't have his last name on here.
Okay.
But what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to send me the mailing address where they want me to send the books to. So I'm going to ask them that right now.
Okay.
But the third person, I only got 2 books, y'all. Sorry.
Who's the third person?
The third person is I Barnett. The initial is I, and then the last name is Barnett.
I Barnett. I Barnett. Who's that? Oh well, I tried.
I don't know. Let me see. Let me go back and see if he said anything in his email. I don't think he did.
I tell you what. Rashida, will you come back? Will you come back next week?
I will. Absolutely. I can come back on next Monday if this time works for you. I could definitely do that.
So if you come back next month, I Barnett, you will win that next week, and I'll do another one. So we'll just do 1 giveaway. If y'all ain't be breaking me, y'all know I'm poor. Shit. Y'all niggas ain't gonna be taking all my money. So I thank you. But like I said, what we want to start doing on the live hangouts, where we have like authors that come on, like Alan Roger Curry. He did that the last time. He gave away some stuff. And so, you know, we want to support the people in the community. You brothers have donated to me, and we pay it forward. And the sisters went out and got her own book and published it. We always got to agree, but when you see people out there trying to do the right thing, they ain't out there selling no dope, ain't out there shooting nobody. So, you know, we gotta support. And also, listen, when you have guests on your show, and I know everybody don't feel this way, show people that you appreciate them. Oh, Mark, you won, right? So it's Mark, right?
It's
Was it Michael?
It's Michael and Jet. I just emailed them to tell them to send me their mailing address so that I could get their books out to them today. I don't wait. I get them books out fast. Like, I don't play.
So, what I want to do is you know, when we have somebody come on, and I know everybody don't do this, but I like to, you know, if a person's going to come on, they have a product that they have and they want to, you know, produce, you know, let's try to help our people, you know, despite our differences of opinion. You see what's happening in YouTube for the Black community in YouTube. Mm-hmm. They're demonetizing almost any Black community thing that's out there right now.
Oh, wow.
Any kind of Black community title, Google is demonetizing.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
Now we're going to be forced to want to work together, because, you know, you just can't put out anything with the Black, they're going to take it away. So, right. You know, let's try to support, you know, the Black businesses. And when somebody wants to come on and spend their time to come and speak to you about their opinion, it's good for us as Black men, it's good for us as Black people to try to compensate as much as we can, you know, for it. So actually, I really do thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Did you think this is gonna be a rough interview? How did you think this was gonna go?
I thought I had positive vibes about it. I'm the type of person that's very open. I like to communicate and talk to people, especially my people, anybody. I just love to do it. So I'm always open. Like, it's just always challenging and it's always fun to me, and I would do it every single day of the week if I could. So I enjoyed it. I love it.
Okay. So let me do this. First of all,
oh my God. We got, okay, Joe. So Jet and Michael, okay, they emailed me back. Okay, I'm gonna be getting that book out to y'all as soon as this broadcast is over. I'm gonna go ahead and get the book out to y'all, definitely.
Don't be sending no dick pictures in the email, y'all. Y'all niggas is nasty. Don't be trying to. Don't get niggas to get, you know. Niggas start sending ankle pictures and shit. Niggas, I'll be out there. Yeah, girl, you see this? See these elbows? Listen, off the line. You brothers out here, right? Some of you brothers have not subscribed to the negromanosphere.com. Now, before I get off of here and take my nap, I want you Negroes to put your email in the chat. Robert Imogowi, damn, my brother, that's a nice Nigerian name, nigga. I cannot say, how the hell you, Professor Max, what's going on, player? How the hell do you say the email Gwali? Okay, put your email in the comment section. All of y'all, look at Doug, something. Man, y'all niggas nasty. Y'all put your, everybody, women and men, put your emails. If you're not subscribed to the negromanosphere.com, put your emails in the chat, okay? Because we're gonna let you guys know about some other. Thank you, Michael Merriweather. Okay. No, we're not letting. No, we're not. She's not gonna be blogging. This is me to subscribe. He said, "Don't let her blog." I don't think she wants to blog. Ain't nobody worry about no damn blog. You get your ass subscribed to this shit.
Oh my God.
Damn questions. Saving me. Wait, hold on. Is saving me a hater? Nigga, I heard about you. Hold on a second. Let me get these niggas together. Okay, if you not, okay, there we go. Keep dropping them. Keep dropping them. Thank you. I got 3 emails. Oh no, I didn't. I got 2. So subscribe. All right, thank you, and thank you all for coming on. Thank you to High Def. Be a light-skinned activist.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, Mark, I tried to switch it up, man. I tried to switch it up today. So I appreciate all of you came and listened and spending your time on this.
Yes, thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Rashida. And Rashida will be back next week.
Definitely.
Yeah, your ass was late. You should have been jacking off. That's how we talk on this channel. We don't give a damn.
I see. Oh my God.
They're gonna get that work for me when they come on this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. No. These niggas be fake ass emails in here. That's why I'm gonna boot you motherfuckers off this goddamn channel. You keep fucking around with me if you want to. Okay, y'all, we're not gonna hold her up. Rashida, anything else you want to say today?
I just want to say that I'm on. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed this conversation. Glad that we was able to talk. And like you said, it lets people see that even though there's a so-called gender war, I've never had a beef with Black men. I'm never going to have a beef with Black men. And I'm also on the Dark Skin Activist Tour right now, featuring my play, A Dark Skin Woman's Revenge, and the book signings. The next stop is going to be at the DC Black Theater Festival. So just keep checking out, my website and my channel, because I always put updates on there. Yeah, that's the main thing that I have going right now, the Dark Skin Activist Tour. It's the first of its kind. It's never been done before. I'm coming to a city near you. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Rashida Strober, the world's first dark skin activist.
Okay. And if you guys actually Google her, if you Google dark skin activist, she comes up first. I actually didn't know that. She said Google dark skin activist. And sure enough, the whole first page is her. So, really, there's some people out there, I won't call no names, that's trying to do that. But as far as Google is concerned, she's the number one person in this. So once again, Rashida, again, thank you so much. I know you taking time out of your day to come over here and give us content. This, I believe, will be also on her channel. So I appreciate, her for letting the world know that I ain't an asshole every day. Only for y'all. But, yeah, and it was a positive response. A lot of the brothers here feel that you're very attractive and would like you to come back.
Ooh, I love compliments. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care what nobody says. Why you begging people? I love compliments from Black men. Yep, I'm saying it. I love it. I eat it up. I sure do. Give me more.
Okay, so we'll come up with another topic, and like I said, keep coming back. Like I said, it's good that we are going to keep having a discussion. As far as Aaron Clarey was busy writing. I did a podcast for his the Clarey podcast. I think me and Aaron are gonna do a hangout once he gets through writing his new book. So he said in like my next month. And my Facebook, y'all know I stay in Facebook jail. So but definitely Aaron Clarey will be on here. Actually, I found Aaron Clarey through Obsidian. So shout out to Obsidian. He put me on to Aaron Clarey. He actually met him in person. So we'll have Aaron Clarey, like I said. Thank you, Rashad. Appreciate you. So we want to get him on here. Oshay, have you ever had African food? Yes. I had some plantain just the other day. So thank you, Rashida. Appreciate you. I'll be, and shout out to the brothers who won 2 books. All right.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I'm over here, and I'm going to mail y'all.
What do you say?
I'm getting out of here, and I'm gonna go mail their books off right now.
Right. And that shit costs $20, but that's not an ebook, dude. That's $25. You Negroes better read, highlight, take notes. I'm gonna give a quiz, nigga. Yes.
They ain't gonna be able to put it down. It's a page turn.
Thank you so much, and email me so we'll set up the same time next week. Okay.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.